Good morning, students. Welcome back to this revision session of paper 2 UGC net. We are, you know very well, we are seeing or studying the social work, paper social work or subject to social work. In that we have already seen, we are discussing unit 3, okay, working with the individuals and the groups, right? In that already we have completed 3 revision videos or revision lectures in which we have discussed the individual casework or social casework. Social casework or working with the individuals. In the rest of the lectures, maybe in 3 lectures, we are going to study the second part of this one, that is social group work. Okay, so I am going to dedicate 3 videos exclusively for discussing the aspects related to social group work. Okay, then briefly what we are going to study in this video, we will see the definition of social work, then scope of social work, objectives of social group work, scope of social group work and objectives of social group work, then historical development of group work, then types of groups in social work, introduction to group dynamics. All these things we will see. Once again, briefly we will revise what we have studied in this. Right. Part 1, we will see the definition of social work. You remember the definitions are very, very important. Several times already in the exam, they have directly picked the parts from the definition, or they have asked the definition of certain concepts or certain things, or they have asked the people, okay, or the sociologists, social work experts now coined these definitions or have given these definitions. Okay, right. So in first part we will see the definition given by Kunuka. Okay, it's very difficult to pronounce. Okay, P is you have to kind of keep it silent. Kunuka. Okay, the definition is given by Kunuka in 1963. What is the definition given by the person Kunuka? You see, group work is both a means and an end. It is both a means to achieve something, and it is also an end. That is what you are going to achieve. Right? Then it emphasizes, in social work, emphasis is there, or it is emphasis is placed on interaction, participation, and cooperation. Okay, this emphasis is here on interaction, participation, and cooperation. Then the group serves as a medium to change and supportive to change and as a supportive environment. Right here, group is very, very important. Group serves as a medium of exchange of ideas, thoughts, okay, interventions, etc. And it also provides a supportive environment for individual people who are there in the group. Right. Then scope of social work, just like we have understood the scope of social case work, we will also understand the case of or scope of social group work. Right. First, in educational institutions, how it is useful or how it is applied in social educational institutions. We can form remedial educational groups, okay, especially or for the children who are able to learn that much faster compared to some group of students within the class. For them, we can start remedial education groups. And then we can also create or form peer learning circles. This is how we can work with, we can implement or apply this social group work in educational institution settings. Then in health and mental health settings, how we can utilize social group work. We can form therapy groups and we can also support the groups for chronic illness, okay, like autism, like cancer groups, etc. Or there are some rare diseases are there. You hardly find support for, directly from the hospitals, etc. So you will form the groups of people or with the parents of children who are suffering with these chronic illness. Right. Then in correctional institutions, we can work with the rehabilitation groups or we can form rehabilitation groups. Then we can also form anger management groups. Then in community development, how we can utilize social work, we can form self-help groups, which is an important concept we have adopted. India is now known for forming self-help groups, and we are trying to empower and develop women by formation of self-help groups. We can also form youth clubs. Then we can also form cooperative groups. The concept of cooperatives is there since many years, but still the concept of forming cooperative groups is being reinvigorated, and now we are seeing groups like producer organizations, okay, then farmer producer organizations also we are seeing, which are the result of social group work or forming the cooperative groups. Then in industrial or corporate settings, what you can do or how you can engage the social group work, we can create employee wellness groups. Then sensitivity, we can also employ social group work in sensitivity training. That is how you can utilize social group work here. Then geriatric services, we have already understood yesterday about the geriatric services. It is taking care of the old people or elderly people suffer from particular health diseases or health problems. Taking care of those things is called as geriatric services. How social group work can be engaged here? We have to form recreational groups so that elderly people can spend good and appropriate time, healthy time. Then life review therapy groups also we can form. So this is the scope of social group work in various settings: education, health, geriatrics, okay, community development, etc. All these areas you can understand the scope of social group work. Then we will understand the objectives of social group work, what we want to achieve by utilizing social group work or doing the social group work. The first one is foster personal growth and group solidarity. Foster means bringing in personal growth and group solidarity. So this is what we have targeted to achieve by doing social casework, also personal growth. But in social group work, along with the personal growth, we are also trying to bring in group solidarity. Okay, so members of the group will have solidarity with each other about their problems, etc. Right? So objectives are: first objective is to develop self-awareness, knowing people knowing about themselves, especially the times or members of the group. Then developing self-confidence and responsible behavior. This is the first objective of social group work. Second one is to provide emotional and psychological support, which is very important to do that. How we are doing that? Through group belonging. So when we are bringing in people and forming them as a group, they feel a sense of belonging to that group. Okay, earlier they might be missing the feeling that they do not belong to some society, some group, etc. So you are forming a group and you are cultivating this feeling of now they belong to something. Okay, in this way they will be developed. There will be emotional and psychological support for the group members. Then another objective is to enable clients to resolve common concerns through cooperative effort. So once they form into group, they can, by cooperative effort, they can resolve common concerns that they are facing. Right? Another objective is to promote socialization and interpersonal competence. This is also one of the objectives. To promote socialization means properly integrating this person with the society or environment that person is earlier living, so that the person can start feeling a sense of comfort. Right? Then it also includes developing interpersonal competence. Right? Then another goal is to develop democratic values, team spirit, and leadership. Okay? So you need not worry that much if you simply observe the self-help groups. All these things you can realize. Okay, SHG groups are known for their democratic values. Members are allowed to equally participate in the group. Okay, they have team spirit, and as in the process of promoting self-help groups, we are also building leadership. Okay, two people will be selected as the head of the group and the deputy head of the group. Then one other person will also be appointed as the treasurer of the group. In this way, we are promoting the leadership also, right? Okay. And the next one, the next objective is to facilitate behavioral change. You see, to address the problem a person is facing, we have understood in the social framework that behavioral change is also one of the important intervention behavior. So here also in the social group also we are focusing on behavioral change in a non-threatening group environment. This is very, very important. We are facilitating the behavioral change, but in which environment we are doing that? In a non-threatening group environment. Okay, where the person is feeling comfort, he or she has the trust of the rest of the members, or the person is trusting the group. In that environment, we are trying to improve it or change their behavior. Right. Next part we will see historical development of group work. Right. Just like we have seen the historical development of case work, we can also study briefly the historical development of group work. Right. First, during 1880s, okay, this is the same time period, the late 19th centuries, the social case work also born, and the social group work also born or emerged during the same time. You see settlement houses somewhere around 1880s to 1900s, late 19th century, in USA and UK. Right. These settlement houses served as community hubs where informal group activities helped urban poor people. Right? Some examples are Hull House by Jane Addams. This house has been created by this person, James Adams. That is one example for settlement houses. We can say this is the beginning of modern social group work. Right? And the next next stage in the emergence of social group work is YMCA or YWCA, Young Men Christian Association or Young Women Christian Association, and Boy Scouts. Okay, what these groups have done? These groups have promoted organized group activity for character building and citizenship. Okay, in each and every town or city of India also you will now see the YMCA clubs. Okay, they are working, they are active. Like that, in USA and European Union especially, YWCA for US were also there. What were they focusing on? They were focusing on character building and citizenship. Right? Then group work in recreation. This we can say another stage. Okay, within the early influence. Right. Here, the focus these group work in recreation. These focused on team building and social development through leisure. Okay, these are the early influences in social group work. Then the second stage is professionalization stage between 1920s and 1950s. You can say first part of the 20th century, right? What has happened in this? Group work was formally introduced in social work education. This is the first step towards professionalization of social work. Then second stage or sub-stage is the works of Grace Coyle, Harley Whittaker, and Gisela Poloka. The works of these people have contributed to theory building about the social group work. And the third sub-stage is the concept of the group as a dynamic system emerged, right? Strengthening internal processes, leadership, and structures. Okay, this is how the professionalization of social group work has happened between 1920s and 1950s. Right? Especially you remember the names of the earlier contributors to theory. Those names are Grace Coyle, Harley Tucker, and Gisela Kunaka. Right? Remember the names who have contributed for theory development of social group work. Right. Then contemporary trends, latest trends, if you see, the emphasis is on evidence-based practice, then group therapy and community support groups, right? You are already seeing it. Then inclusion of technology in group formation or facilitation. For example, virtual group support through online, etc. This is also happening. Then increasing relevance in mental health, addiction recovery, and trauma rehabilitation. Right? You have seen many drug addicts. They have been formed into rehabilitative groups, and we are working with them. Right? Right. Then types of groups in social work we will see. Very important component. Be focused and try to learn all the types of groups within the social work. Right. So based on purpose, we can divide the groups into broadly 5 types. The first one is therapeutic or clinical groups. What are these? They address mental health, trauma, or behavioral change. Right. These are called as therapeutic or clinical groups. Then second are support groups. These offer mutual aid to people with the shared problems. For example, grief, chronic illness, etc. So these are support groups. Then task groups, these focus on achieving a specific goal. Example, planning an event or advocacy campaign. You call these groups as task groups. Then the next one is recreational groups. What are these? They enhance creativity and interaction through leisure and play. Right. These are called as recreational groups. Then finally, educational groups. What are these groups? They teach specific skills and knowledge. Example, parenting skills, financial literacy, etc. Right. These are called as educational groups. Right. So once again, we will remind ourselves what are the groups. Simply the names of the groups: therapeutic and clinical groups, task groups, support groups, recreational groups, then educational groups. Based on the purpose, we can divide the social groups into these 5 types. Right. Then based on the membership also, you can divide the groups. First category is, broadly we will divide the groups into 2 categories. First one is open group and the second one is closed group. Right. We will see what is the meaning of open group. You see, membership is fluid, means some new members will be joining, some old members will be leaving the group. So in this way, membership is fluid, right? Individuals may join or leave at any point of time in this group. That type of group is called as open group. Then, as far as the closed group is concerned, what happens here? There is a fixed membership. Means what? The participants progress through stages together. Generally, members do not leave. And once the group goes through certain processes, new members will also be not allowed to join in that group. So first the group will be formed and the same members will continue and the members will be keep on going through certain stages. And at one point of time, the group will be formed. Right. Then briefly we will see the group dynamics also, which is an important area. Right. What are the group dynamics? First one is group formation. What is the meaning of it? The way individuals come together and form words, that is called as group formation. Right? Then the norms and the roles. Once group is formed, there will be norms and the roles. You see, these are shared expectations and assigned functions within the group. Right? Then leadership patterns, as I have already explained, we will also try and promote leadership, and within the groups, maybe any type of group it can be. Okay, so leadership patterns will be emerging, and you can divide this leadership patterns into various types like cooperative leadership, etc., participatory leadership. Okay, these leadership patterns will be there. Then communication flows are also very important component of the group work, social groups. You see, in communication, both verbal and non-verbal exchanges will be there that influence the participation of the members within the group. About the verbal and non-verbal exchanges of communication, you will study in the first paper. There is a complete chapter about the communication, which is an important area in the for the entire UGC examination. Right. Then conflict and cohesion, these things will also be there in a group. Of course, there will be conflicts and there will be certain forces which will be, forcing this cohesion of the group and preventing it from breaking away. Right. So how disagreements are managed and the solidarity is managed. Okay, these things will also be there in social group work. So that we have to maintain solidarity so that the group can be intact. There is no breaking away of the group or group members. Right. Then decision making is also an important attribute of social group. Okay, so methods of reaching consensus or resolving impasses. This okay, in this way we will do decision making within the groups. Most of the times the decision making will also be a consensus based or mutually agreed decision. Means the decision is acceptable to each and every person of the group. Then briefly we will remind ourselves what we have studied until now in this video. Benefits of the group work. Clients share a common problem or identity, right? This is the first benefit of the group work. Then mutual experiences can offer team support. This is also very important aspect. Then the group environment can influence behavior change, right? Then social workers aim to promote democratic participation and the leadership skills. These are the benefits of social group work, right? So these are the aspects we have studied in this video. In the next video, we will see some other aspects of social group work. Right? This is it for this time. See you.